Hello everyone and welcome back to episode number 2 of Beyond the Veil with myself and Caroline. If you haven't watched the first episode, then go and watch that and you'll get the full introduction and breakdown to what the series is. Now in this episode we are going to be covering this commonly asked question from the viewers: is there good and bad spirits? Now stay tuned because this is going to be a good one. So, I'm going to do you want to take this one away, Karen?
Okay, is there good and bad spirits? Interesting question, Jordan. For me personally, I would say no, there's not bad spirits. The only thing I would say is if somebody on this earth plane has been a nasty person, so to speak, that's how they will come through to you when you have your read.
100%.
Like, no one's going to, if you're just in front of a medium, and let's just say your husband's passed, he's called George, and the medium says to you, I've got George here, and he's giving you a lovely bunch of roses and a box of chocolates.
And he never done that in this life.
You're going to say, well, no, I don't know who they are. But if they're saying, I've got George here, he's like, mind, he's a cantankerous old bugger or different things. Can I swear?
Well, I don't think we can swear, but I think they get the point.
Too bad, but he's a cantankerous old kind of,
Git.
Okay, Git's a good word. You're going to know who he is. But I think, to be honest, that's as far as it goes. I wouldn't say bad, no, just as you recognise them. That's how they'll come through. Well,
and that's it. And I completely agree with what you're saying there. And to give you a little bit of an understanding of the understanding I have, you have to understand each and every one of you are a product of your environment. Whether you like it or not, situations have sculpted you into being the person that you are here now watching this video. So let's just say, for example, Jordan. Right? Let's just speak in the third person, the spirit come through. So Jordan has been a horrible person all his life. Right? People hate him. People despise him. It's probably true. Some people probably do hate us and despise us. But that's the way it goes. What you have to understand is when my body feels, which it's going to at some point, okay, and the heart stops beating, and I whisk back over to the energy realm. The anger, the greed, the jealousy, all of these ugly humanistic traits that are undesirable die with the body. They are cultivated within the mind. It is the mind that makes you the person that you are. This is why it doesn't go... A lot of you may not understand why evil doesn't go back to spirit. It's because evil is on this planet. Mankind are the evil ones, not the spirit world. I would protect, I think, and we're off camera, me and Cara had mentioned this, I would protect more from human beings than I would from the spirit world.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of you will be exactly the same, you know what I mean? There's nothing... And whilst there's a lot of you going, well, actually, hang on, back up a minute, Jordan, we kind of understand that concept and that theory, and it makes logical sense to us as human beings. But we've watched The Conjuring. We've watched Annabelle. We've watched Paranormal Activity. And fun fact, when I first seen Paranormal Activity, it terrified me, because I had seen Spirit from the age of 6. But what you have to understand is these movies portray the spirit world through fear. The reason being is it wouldn't make, as a franchise, any money if they portrayed Casper as the friendly ghost. Now, I hope I don't get a copyright strike for that, because I have used an actual name, but Casper the friendly ghost wasn't that interesting, let's be honest. No one watched it for that. They watched it for the evil ghost, they watched it for all these different things. And that's what each and every one of you have to understand is Hollywood make these movies to scare each and every one of you for the fear-based elements to it. It makes good entertainment in the ka-ching so they can make more. I mean, is there anything that you would disagree with that I've mentioned there,
No,
Karen?
not at all. I would definitely want to protect from human more than spirit.
You know, and what a lot of you have to understand is we have this spirit world which we are speaking of, but we have the realms. There are 7 realms in total, spirit being one of them, spirit being the first, the core of the onion. If you think of the spirit world as being, I know it's a fist, but imagine it being the onion. And then you have many different layers around, which are the realms. Now, the realms tend to be a lot more playful than what the spirit world are. And this is what is being depicted in these sorts of movies. But not to the scale or extent to what you are seeing. Again, the realms can move things, so can the spirit world. Fun fact, and not to scare you, but they can. I've seen it firsthand, we've captured it. We had a coin appear from nowhere on a paranormal investigation. And if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It's the episode of Soul Seekers. And this is the point that we're trying to make. None of you should be scared by this. Fun fact, if you don't go looking for the spirit world, then they're not really interested in you. I think that's a fair statement to say, isn't it, Cara?
They're not there to scare you.
They're not there to scare you. They're not there to...
If you were scared, they just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and that's a prime point that a lot of people do ask, actually, is why can't they see spirit? And then you start speaking to them like, oh, well, I don't want to see one. It's like, well, This is the reason why you can't see a spirit, because I've mentioned that I can help you see one and you don't want to see one.
It's fear of the unknown.
It is.
That's all people are scared of, what they don't know, and I understand that. But spirit also know that. They know what's going on ahead, well ahead, before you even know anything.
Well, that's it. It's all predetermined.
They just wouldn't do it. No way. They wouldn't scare you.
And a lot of you, I'd love to know in the comment section, by the way, if any of you have seen a spirit, and if you are scared of seeing spirits, or if you are wanting to see spirits, because it will be interesting for us to know, because this is why we are doing this series. We are wanting to find out the questions, commonly asked questions, like we're reading out, and we're going to give you the answers. But again, to anyone, when you are thinking of the spirit world, stop thinking of it as the materialistic world that you're living in. A lot of people, when you're speaking to them, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, there's got to be, even in the spirit world, there's good and bad in this world. Answer that one, Jordan. Yes, you're speaking about an energy plane where you don't have physical bodies.
The evil's in the mind.
It's the mind that makes it evil. You know, you don't come to this planet evil. You come to this planet and you become a product of your environment. For example, you come to this planet as a pure soul. You accommodate the vessel. And then unfortunately for you, this vessel goes through traumatic times and you become maybe a good person or an evil person. That is on the mind. That is on the integrity of the individual. That is everything about you. It's not the soul. When the soul goes back to spirit form, like Caroline was saying earlier, when they go back to spirit, do they go and cause havoc? No. If Bob, who lived at number 9 along the street, now I'm not saying that he does, but I'm just saying, for example, was an absolute despicable human being, is he going to go to the spirit world and then in the afterlife come and continue his tyranny here on planet Earth? Definitely not. He is not the same person no more. He's not even a person, he's a soul. You go back and you join. And spiritual is this absolutely amazing thing. I was doing a live the other night, Karen. Unfortunately, the live went great, but the audio quality and everything, because I was doing it on live, it just turned out horrendous. My lip was out syncing and everything. And I was doing this explanation of the energy and how I was basically showing people how we return to energy. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, I was holding a crystal ball. And in that moment, spirit showed us, when I was trying to explain it to the audience, how the transition takes place. They showed us bubbles. And what happens is if you think of the energy being an entire bubble, and when you see bubbles coming from that bubble, if you can picture, if you all now, I know I look crazy, right? But if you want to think of how the soul goes to spirit and how we come here from spirit, is think of a giant bubble. And then out of this bubble, you will see little bubbles come out, but then that main bubble seals again. So it's always a bubble, it's always a continuous, and this is the oneness, this is the collective of the energy, it's always confined, it's always one, but then you will have like little, kind of like when you see,
energy kind of thing.
Basically if you look at solar flares, Spirit are seeing solar flares, so when you see solar flares out in outer space, if any of you haven't seen it, watch it, it's amazing. And you'll see like little bursts coming out, but then it seals again. And this is what the spirit world's like. And even when, because people are like, well, hang on, when spirit go back to spirit, surely there's thousands of spirits sitting around waiting in this big hall. But what happens is, in my understanding, the way that spirit showed me, especially on that live, it was awesome. All of these little bubbles come back to the main bubble and just merge into one. You don't have thousands of people sitting around waiting to come back down. You become part of the oneness. And this is something that we mentioned because people were asking how the spirits communicate, and which was an interesting question. And it's through claircognizance. It's through the intuition part of you that you have going through this life. You don't speak to people how we speak to people. We speak to people because we have what's called a throat box. This is how we articulate and vocalize a conversation. In spirit, it's instant. It's an all-known. It's like claircognizance. It's just a deep knownness. It's instant communication. So yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Like, it was like literally, because I was trying to give this explanation and I was sitting there, right? You've got a picture of the scene. I was sitting there with a crystal ball in my hand and I was like, right. And then I picked up a prop and it was like a little USB dongle. You've probably all seen it. And I was like, and then this is right, no, this isn't working. This isn't a good way. And they just showed us a giant bubble. And they showed us loads of bubbles rippling out. But then the bubble stayed whole. It was awesome. Like, it stayed sealed. So it was like how the soul comes down to planet Earth. But then also when it went back, it showed all the bubbles, little bubbles, just coming back and merging into this one big bubble, which obviously the bubble in this analogy is the energy. It was awesome.
Wow.
But they've done that loads of times, like when I'm explaining something, they'll say, oh,
They never
use
cease
this
to
analogy.
amaze. Spirit never ever cease to amaze.
I know. So, I mean, in terms to wrap this one up, the question at the beginning was, is there good and bad spirits? What we're going to say to
I'm
that?
going to say no.
There's definite no.
not.
Thumbs down to that one. Well, everyone, let me know down in the comments if you've got something that you didn't understand about that video or something that you want to add. Also, remember to subscribe over at the Caroline's channel. It is going to be pinned in these videos. And until the next time, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.